What makes a person boring? When they only talk about other people, like talking shit about people is their only personality. Agreeing with everything you say but never offering anything unique. I have this problem and don't know how to deal with it. If you give me 10 minutes, I could come up with something. But by then the conversation has moved on, or perhaps it has stopped altogether. Even just writing this, I took some time to think if I wanted to comment, and then what did I want to say? Edit, this got an insane amount of replies, and I just want to tell you, if you are reading this again, I thank you for taking time out to replying to me. In my head, I already know all the advice given. I nodded and went, yep, I already know this, but I was just too afraid. I needed someone to tell me, to validate my knowledge, and well, there were quite a lot of you who helped me. I took a leap of faith today, in an environment where I felt comfortable. In the beginning, I had people looking at me weird, only to find out they were just shocked and happy, saying how I was finally vocal for once. I still do feel like I messed up, places where I could have said something better, more accurate, even though work was hours ago. But, baby steps, right? I have the same thing. It's anxiety that people won't like what you say or think it's stupid, which will result in people liking you less, so your brain just doesn't give you anything until it finds a sentence that everyone will be happy with. When I drink, I seem to have the perfect words for everything and it's effortless. When I smoke, I get a bit anxious, so I tend to go even quieter. One thing that helped me was doing LSD and realizing this was a thing, and that I can't make everyone love me without sacrificing being myself, but that's obviously not for everyone. Same here. I have a horrible case of anxiety and also a little bit of ducket. I don't have the energy to make small talk. But if I have a drink or two, I'd be making long-ass conversations or having fun debates. I sometimes wish sober me to do the same. Sober me 70% anxiety and 30% ducket. Drunk me 80% fuck it and 30% anxiety. Sober me the next morning after I've been drinking. 80% anxiety about what I did last night. 20% feeling good about socializing and dancing that I would have never done while sober. I like that drunk you is at 110%. This is correct. Talking about nothing but themselves. Having their personality centered around one single thing, and only that thing. Potheads and CrossFitters. Edit, yes, not everyone who smokes weed is boring, but you know exactly which potheads I'm referring to. CrossFitters, on the other hand, uck. I went to uni with someone who wore green t-shirts with a leaf on and drank Bob Marley energy drinks. I don't think I ever knew anything about him, other than he smoked weed. The people who thought about the remotest possibility of branding an energy drink after Bob Marley should be lecturing at every marketing school around the globe. They're not really energy drinks though, they're chill-out drinks. They're the inverse of Monster Rehab. Replace caffeine with chamomile. I drank one of those Bob Marley drinks and was struggling from falling asleep for a couple hours. That stuff works inversely to an energy drink. I came here to be enlightened, not to be described, SMH. I wonder who all the boring people are, duck. Having zero interests outside of work. Edit, didn't realize this was such a problem. Thought it was just my so and me. I had no idea people were in such a serious rut. Bless you all for all the work you do. What about having zero interest in work? That would describe me. What if your work is so many random things it's hard to explain, and when you do it sounds like you're a crackhead building shit to contact aliens? Then they ask the question, wow, what exactly is your job title? And it's honestly like 7 words long that describes 110 of what you actually do. I too work in it. I always try to come up with a cool title, but what does it matter? People only hear you do computers, which is basically like being a wizard, but not a cool wizard, not just a lame geeky wizard. SMH. I'm a boring person. My brain is pretty much screaming in agony after reading this thread because I could relate to some parts but not to others. So I can't tell if I'm boring, not boring, or even half boring. That means you can be boring to one person and very interesting to another. This is how it works, I guess. I've met people who everybody adored but they seemed completely boring to me. But also, basically every comment is saying they don't like it when someone does a lot of one thing. People like variation. You can talk about yourself, a bit. You can shit talk other people, a bit. You can agree with everything on a topic, for a bit. Everyone does all of these things to some degree. It's just making sure you switch things up so you're not a repeating record. Stay interesting by remembering to swap focus. If you're talking about yourself a lot, remember to ask about them and listen. If you're not adding anything to the conversation, try thinking of something you can share. It helps. When they agree with everything you agree with. You need to have your own opinions. This salad is excellent. I hate this restaurant and I hate your stupid face, Sally. No sense of humor. Is this supposed to be a joke or something? 'Cause I'm not laughing. They said it'd never be a comedian, well they're not laughing now. You can say that again, pal. How about another joke, Murray? What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash? Call the police, Gene. They'll tell you what you get. You get what you ducking deserve. Bang. My dad used to always say this, if you're bored, you're boring. I used to hate it, but there's some truth that the people in this world who are interesting are people who can find wonder in any situation. If you're bored, you're boring. The agony and the irony, they're killing me who? Relying on other people to make all decisions. I think I should upvote this. Should I? I don't know, you tell me. What are your thoughts on the matter? This is too much pressure for me. We might have to ask the next guy what he thinks about it. I don't know, man. He might say something ducked up. P.S. My man just got autocorrected to ma'am, and I don't know what level of bullcrap this is. I reckon someone else will have to decide. Not being able to have a meaningful conversation. I sometimes struggle with this. There are people I can talk to easily, without seemingly running out of things to say, but if I feel I'm the one who has to initiate, I tend to get really wrapped up in my head about what to say next, and then assume the other person must think I'm dull cause I can't chit-chat like a regular person. Then I see other people who can talk to anyone about anything and I'm like, was I sick the day they taught the talking like a normal person class at school? I have some similar problem. I can initiate, but if the other person does not engage, well, here's an hour of awkward sitting and watching at cell phones. That's when you try to find common ground. Asking about their hobbies or if they've seen any good movies lately, or anything. Then take it from there, which I realize is easier said than done. Oh yeah, I saw that one. Michael Fassbender is so good, have you seen movie with Fassbender? Just keep talking and asking about stuff until you find a thread to keep pulling at. Of course, some people aren't interested in talking, but hey, at least you tried. Not recognizing when no one is interested in what they're talking about. This skill is one of the worst to learn, because you were always telling something you were excited about and realized no one else cared. Frown. I used to do this a lot with my wife. I'd find myself apologizing for boring her with stuff I was interested in when she was genuinely interested in actually listening to me. My exes hated the stuff I was passionate about, and it made me apologies for being interested in something. Not being passionate about anything. I'm passionate about being unpassionate. Honestly, a lot of it comes down to storytelling. I remember listening to one of my cousins tell a story, and I realized it was super boring, but I was super interested, so I started paying attention to the way she tells stories. I like to think people are more interested in what I have to say now, but also I've had a pretty ducking crazy life so far, so there's a lot to talk about. What sort of approach did you observe with your cousin's storytelling?